One of the most talked about moments in women's basketball history was the 2025 WNBA All-Star Game. Fans across the country expected spectacular plays and thrilling performances, but few could have predicted what would unfold during the All-Star Draft. Caitlin Clark, one of the league's most prominent rising stars, took charge in a way rarely seen from a rookie, upending the event's traditional format and making headlines before the game even began. She shared the national spotlight with notable figures like Sophie Cunningham and the legendary Cheryl Miller, each playing a distinct role in what would become a truly unforgettable sporting moment. Entering the WNBA with sky-high expectations after her record-breaking collegiate career at Iowa, Clark quickly lived up to the hype. Her deep shooting range, sharp court vision, and fearless confidence won over both fans and fellow players. Her popularity was so immense that she earned the most fan votes of any player, securing her spot as captain of one of the two all-star teams, an extraordinary feat for a rookie. But Clark didn't stop there. On July 8, 2025, during the live, televised All-Star Draft, she made a move that stunned the entire league. When it came time to confirm the head coaches for each team, Clark casually turned to the opposing captain, Sophie Cheryl, and proposed a coach swap, something that had never happened in WNBA history. Her bold decision instantly became the story of the night, setting the tone for what would be remembered as one of the most iconic All-Star weekends ever.
He's going to take her coach, Sandy Brondello. Let's get it. It's going to be amazing.
When Caitlin Clark was first assigned to the Minnesota Lynx, head coach Cheryl Reeve was set to lead her team. However, Clark had other plans. She boldly suggested a coach swap, proposing to exchange Reeve for Sandy Brondello, the head coach of the New York Liberty, who had been assigned to Sophie Cheryl's squad. Both Clark and Collier laughed at the idea, and to everyone's surprise, league officials allowed the unexpected change to stand. The spontaneous moment quickly made national headlines. It wasn't just the first coach swap in WNBA All-Star history. It was the confidence with which Clark took control that caught everyone's attention. Before making her move, she even admitted with a grin, "I'm not sure if this is allowed, but I don't really care." That fearless attitude sent a clear message. Even on the league's biggest stage, players were no longer afraid to speak up or challenge the norms of how the game is run. Many fans praised Clark for her boldness and for bringing new energy to the event. Others, however, saw deeper meaning, interpreting it as a subtle response to recent tension between Clark and Coach Reeve. Reeve, a highly respected WNBA coach with years of success, had recently been at the center of controversy surrounding Clark's Olympic team snub. As the head coach of Team USA, Reeve played a major role in leaving Clark off the roster for the 2024 Paris Olympics, a decision that sparked heated debate among fans and analysts. Because of that history, Clark's decision to trade out Reeve was viewed by many as a quiet but powerful statement, a moment of symbolic revenge wrapped in professionalism. Whether intentional or not, the message resonated loudly across the sports world. Collier, who ended up with Reeve as her coach, handled the situation gracefully and even joked about it afterward. Since Reeve already knew Collier's Minnesota teammates well, Collier quipped that Clark might have made a mistake letting her go. Despite the lighthearted tone, everyone understood that Clark's move was deliberate and strategic. Clark wanted a coach who understood her playing style and gave her freedom on the court, qualities that Sandy Brondello is known for. Brondello's flexible approach and strong player relationships made her a natural fit to help Clark perform at her best during the showcase game. As the story exploded across social media and sports outlets, Sophie Cunningham, another outspoken WNBA star, jumped into the conversation. Known for her fiery personality and advocacy for player empowerment, Cunningham publicly praised Clark's confidence and leadership. She highlighted how impressive it was for such a young player to take charge in a high-profile event and make her voice heard. Cunningham also used the moment to underscore a broader shift in the league's culture. She noted that, in the past, players often followed league traditions without question. But today's generation is different. They're unafraid to challenge authority, push for change, and take ownership of their careers. Caitlin Clark's coach swap may have seemed like a small, spontaneous act, but it symbolized something much bigger. A new era of player empowerment in women's basketball, where athletes no longer just play the game, they shape it. With stars like Caitlin Clark leading the way, Sophie Cunningham emphasized that this new wave of confidence and individuality is a huge boost not only for the WNBA but for women's sports as a whole. Fans feel more connected when they see athletes being authentic, taking risks, showing personality, and taking charge of their own careers. Even as Clark and Cunningham made headlines for their bold actions, Cheryl Miller, one of the most legendary figures in women's basketball, added her powerful voice to the conversation. A Hall of Famer and respected analyst, Miller has always been a passionate advocate for the growth and integrity of the women's game. She called Clark's coach swap one of the most exciting and meaningful moments in All-Star Game history. For Miller, it wasn't just entertainment. It marked a turning point in how WNBA players are viewed when it comes to authority and decision-making. She pointed out that in earlier years, the idea of players choosing or swapping coaches live on national television would have been unthinkable. Now, the league encourages individuality, player input, and fan engagement. Miller praised Clark's confidence and professionalism, noting that her actions would likely set a new tone for future events. In Miller's view, the WNBA was on the verge of entering a new era, one where players have more influence and fans are more invested than ever before. By the end of the All-Star draft, the stage was set for an electrifying matchup. Clark's team featured some of the league's brightest young stars, including Aaliyah Boston, Satou Sabally, Sabrina Ionescu, and Aja Wilson. Under coach Sandy Brondello, they combined explosive offense with sharp leadership. On the other side, Napheesa Collier's team, coached by Cheryl Reeve, was equally stacked, with Breanna Stewart, Paige Buchers, Nneka Ogwumike, and Alicia Gray. The July 19th All-Star Game was shaping up to be a high-energy showcase full of competition, storylines, and emotion, a perfect blend of drama and excellence. Caitlin Clark's spontaneous act added a spark of unscripted excitement that felt more like something out of the NBA, where players such as LeBron James are known for influencing team dynamics. Now, for the first time, the WNBA was experiencing that same level of cultural buzz. Social media lit up with discussions, highlights, and viral clips. It wasn't just basketball fans tuning in. Casual viewers, and even people who'd never followed the league before were suddenly intrigued. What stood out most to commentators was how authentic it all felt. This wasn't a staged media stunt. It was real, spontaneous, and full of personality. The exact kind of genuine moment that fans crave. For years, critics accused the WNBA of being too rigid, expecting players to stay quiet, follow rules, and simply focus on the game. But with one bold move, Caitlin Clark shattered that image. She reminded everyone that players aren't just participants, they're leaders, creators, and catalysts for change. The All-Star coach swap also made one thing crystal clear. Player influence in the WNBA is growing fast. For decades, athletes had little say in the decisions made by coaches or league executives. But this moment symbolized a shift. Players weren't just asking for a voice, or they were taking it. We're seeing this transformation across the league. Stars like Aja Wilson, Breanna Stewart, and Nneka Ogwumike are taking on major roles within the players' union, shaping policies around marketing, pay, and travel standards. And now, rookies like Caitlin Clark are proving that leadership isn't tied to experience. It's about vision and courage. Even more remarkable, the WNBA didn't shut the swap down. The league could have intervened or penalized Clark for breaking protocol, but instead, it embraced the moment. That quiet approval sent a powerful message. We're listening to the players. In other leagues, a move like this might have drawn fines or criticism. In the WNBA, it became a celebrated milestone, proof of how far the league has come in terms of trusting its players and embracing evolution. Ultimately, the coach swap represented something far bigger than a playful all-star moment. It symbolized a generational shift. A new class of athletes confident, outspoken, and tech-savvy is reshaping women's basketball. They grew up watching NBA stars express themselves freely, build personal brands, and connect directly with fans through social media. Now they're bringing that same energy, independence, and influence into the WNBA, and with leaders like Caitlin Clark at the forefront, the message is unmistakable. The future of women's basketball belongs to the players who dare to lead it. They're doing the same thing now in the WNBA. The league no longer wants to restrict this new generation of players within traditional boundaries. Instead, it's encouraging rivalries to form naturally, drama to unfold organically, and personalities to shine through. The coach swap at the All-Star Game perfectly reflected that approach, bold, spontaneous, and just a little rebellious, and fans absolutely loved it. This moment didn't appear out of nowhere. It was built on the foundation laid by veterans like Sue Bird and Tamika Catchings, who set high standards of professionalism, consistency, and dedication. Now, players like Caitlin Clark are expanding on that legacy, creating something bigger, louder, and more visible. Today's WNBA is unique because it blends the best of both worlds, the tradition and discipline of its early stars with the confidence and creativity of the modern era. The league is evolving while staying true to its roots. Clark's boldness is also reshaping how corporate sponsors view the WNBA. Brands now place immense value on athletes who can generate viral moments and capture global attention. The All-Star coach swap, which drew millions of views and dominated social media, made companies take notice. Even before her rookie season began, Clark had major endorsement deals with Gatorade and Nike. But the added spotlight from that viral moment only boosted her marketability further. The WNBA is now entering an age of personality-driven sponsorships, where star power and cultural impact matter just as much as stats or wins. Marketing experts have already predicted a sharp rise in jersey sales, ticket demand for all-star events, and overall league visibility following the draft. Some even compare Clark's influence on women's basketball to what Simone Biles did for gymnastics or Serena Williams did for tennis, transcending the sport and attracting an entirely new generation of fans. But it wasn't just Clark who made the moment special. Cheryl Mill, who made the moment special. Cheryl Mill